Baby Blue. It's Baby Blue sugar-free Red Bull.
Fine.
Don't fucking forget. Not the original one. The Baby Blue Red Bull.
Okay, the blueberry sparkle. Okay. Well, real quick, sorry guys for the no upload. I am so sorry. I got my wisdom teeth taken out, and the upload could not have happened because I needed the surgery. Okay, here. I'll be back.
Yeah, he's giving all these excuses. I'm like, motherfucker, shut your ass up. Anyway, guys, welcome back. Welcome
For
back.
my wallet.
Oh, dude, I look rough today, and it's because I'm at work. I used to care how I look like at work, but I'm like, dude, I'm at work. At work, I don't look my best at all whatsoever. Plus, every time I shave, this always grows back, and whatever. I just stopped trying to like please others and shit. I only look representable to myself. If I look good, I think I'm fine, you know. But today, let's see what lately things have been aligning perfectly. I've been noticing a lot of symbolism around my life, and honestly, I want to feed into that delusion. Usually I only feed into the delusion when I know it's something that I need, or something that self-improvement, pretty much. What I mean by that is I've been trying to meditate / pray. A lot of people call it praying. I like to meditate, but meditating is not like feeling guilty about the things you've done, but more of being present with what's going on in the moment. I notice that for me, I tend to constantly think too much ahead, too much in the future, even like a couple hours ahead. And I get this feeling like I don't want to do it, or I much more rather stay home. And then I spiral into these things where I just start thinking about everything. I'm like, dude, I don't want to do nothing. Like, I just want to be at home and create my art and be left alone. But in reality, that's not what I want. It's just comfortability. I feel like that is my comfort zone, and I need to break out of that, because if I don't, I won't be free. I'll continue living in the cycle of working home, and that's not something I'm used to, or that's not something I want to be used to anymore. I want to move out and explore new things, meet new people and stuff, you know. But I'm thinking with the projects that are coming, there's just a lot of art that's going to be involved, and a lot of more connections are going to come, and more opportunities are going to open up and shit. He's back. But
Hello.
yeah, like, I just been meditating a lot, and I noticed some shifts. I noticed more of the things that happen around me. I notice my thoughts that are coming to mind. I notice what things attack me the most. And one thing, how I see my thoughts, like all these negative things, how I see it is like clouds. I'm fully aware of my emotions, fully aware of my thoughts, and when they come into mind, like let's say something that can spiral me into overthinking, I just let it pass through like a cloud. I imagine myself laying down in the grass, and I'm looking up, and I'm looking at all these thoughts passing by like clouds. One thing that a lot of people do is they insert themselves in the clouds, and that's how they get lost and overthink a lot about shit that hasn't even happened, or scenarios that just never will happen, and you scare your own self, you know. You just sabotage your own mind. But if you just imagine yourself outside of the clouds and just far away and observing them without reacting to them and just letting it feel, it's a whole different level. It's like, whoa, like, it feels like you have superpowers in a way. That's how I see it. But every time my mind tries to spiral me into something that I don't want to think of, I see it pass. Like, I can hear the memory and everything, you know, but I don't react to it. I'm like, okay, like, I'm thinking about this. All right, you know, and I just let it pass. And it's a beautiful way of meditating. I honestly think that's like, I recommend a lot of people to do that. But you just got to reach a level of self-improvement to get to that. Because if you just try it now without understanding emotions, understanding the world, you're just gonna continue to spiral yourself into a lot of things, and you're just gonna be like, yeah, meditation hasn't worked for me, or it's not working for me. Almost with shrooms, I feel like people, I get really upset when I see people do them without no responsibility, because I think it's like, dude, that's like technically a medication, and it's something that you should be careful with, something that you should only take in safe locations. I recommend a home alone, and just exploring your own mind, exploring shit. And I personally, I feel like I reached a point where I don't really need them anymore. I feel like I'm really comfortable with my own body. I feel like I'm really comfortable with my own life. And I'm not saying I'm the perfect man. I'm not saying my life's perfect, but I am strong enough to get through this shit. I'm strong enough to understand that whatever happens in my life is because there's a reason for it. Like, even death, like if I die, like it's because I was meant to die. I'm not in control of the shit. Like, I'm just riding the wave. I'm just living life, but I'm also taking action on my shit that I want to accomplish. And it's just, once you start understanding energy, once you start understanding connections and meeting people and finding the right people, you will know that this life is so fucking small and short, dude. It's like, why you gotta live your whole life just hidden? Well, you have to live your whole life in fear. It's like, bro, there's big altitudes you can reach. You can reach really high into the sky if you wanted to. You just got to believe and not give up. That's what everybody has been telling us. Even these big artists, they've been telling us, don't give up, don't give up, keep trying, just don't give up. But it's got to be your calling. You got to know the way you can figure out if it's something that it's calling you, it's because it feels right and it brings you peace. That's how you know it's something. Because I recently met this person who was telling me that they go to college, right? And they commute a 2-hour drive. And I'm like, I mean, well, if that's your purpose, if that's something you love to do, then go ahead, like, hell yeah. Like, if you're traveling 2 hours. But the answer was they weren't happy. They said that that's not something they want to do in their life. But in my head, I'm like rationally thinking, then why the fuck are you doing it? Like, why are you pursuing something to receive a little title saying you have passed? Like, this is you, like, you have the title of a master's degree, or you have the title of a mechanic or something. I don't know. It's like, dude, you don't need no fucking label. You can consider yourself a fucking artist if you wanted to, only if you create, only if you're invested on that. You can call yourself a musician if you make music, if you play instruments. You're a musician. You don't need no fucking diploma to tell you what to fucking do. And
Facts.
Reality is, a lot of people feel so entitled with a little piece of paper thinking, oh, I went to college for this. I'm like, okay, but I know fucking real life. I know struggle. Passing tests, struggling with fucking exams. Not saying that's a fucking, like, that's not big, but I'm saying is that my problems don't fucking compare them to your stupid little title. I'm not bashing people who go to university. That's your decision. That's you. But I've been to college. I know how it is. I'm the motherfucker that talks about the shit that goes through it. I don't talk off my ass. And all I'm trying to say is, you don't need no labels. You don't need no titles, and you don't need to be someone. You don't need to perform for people. You gotta be yourself. You gotta stop listening to all these sheep, bro. All these people are so lost, and if you're aware of the shit, if you know what's best for you, you gotta start at some point, not even leading, but guiding people, guide them to the right direction. If they don't listen, that's their decision. You cannot force anything onto nobody. But I want to end that with, I'm gonna pass it to Terry, but I just want to
jump in on this.
I just want to end the fact that go follow what you feel is right, what makes you happy, because, bro, we're all gonna fucking die, and nothing's gonna be nothing here, like, everything's gonna be gone at some point. So might as well, like, fucking live your life like it's yours, dude. Like, shit.
Facts. Yeah, your life is really just a blink of an eye if you look at the whole equation of, like, how long the human species have been alive and shit. So it's a privilege to be alive, and we have to realize that. When I jumped in the car, he was talking about anxiety, it seemed like, to some extent. And with anxiety, I had anxiety with, like, my wisdom teeth. Like, I was just worried about that shit. and really my mind just kind of gravitates towards the worst case scenario. And what that is just creativity. You know, there's creativity that you could use in a good way. You could make a movie, you could make a sketch, you could really do all these things, and that's creativity. But also creativity could be used in a negative way of just going to the worst case scenario, like, oh my god, I'm under anesthesia, I'm not gonna wake up, or like, I'm gonna wake up during the procedure. In all reality, bro, don't worry about that shit. If you're gonna have to get it done, just do it. It's fine. It really is. It reminded me of mushrooms. Looking at the ceiling, it started to get a little swirly, and then I was out. And that's the thing about mushrooms too. They keep me creative, and I love that. They keep the juices flowing. And yeah, you don't want to be on a drug for like a sustainable basis, but if you need a little bit of a boost in your life and you need a little spark, that's something that I could come to, and mushrooms really have my back in that way. So life is hard, bro. Just keep pushing. And I like what Jose said and what I heard. So yeah, we're just trying to guide you to the right path. So have a good day.